For the first time since 2004, the Puerto Rico men's basketball team is competing in the Olympics. And after losing their first group play game to South Sudan by 11 and then proceeding to get stomped on by Serbia, things weren't necessarily going the way they planned, and their toughest on-paper matchup was still yet to come. Of course, I'm talking about Team USA, a team led by elite NBA superstars. But this matchup has a little bit of history. You see, back in 2004, Puerto Rico achieved the unexpected, beating Team USA, who at the time were 3-time defending gold medalists. And not only did they beat the United States, but they cooked them, coming out on top in convincing fashion, giving Team USA their first loss since 1992 and just the third loss overall. But 2024 would serve as their shot at redemption and Puerto Rico's shot at another historic upset. But this time, Team USA cooked Puerto Rico. You see, throughout the preliminary games, the United States definitely lacked some consistency with their teamwork. It led to lots of sloppy turnovers, and they just didn't look as good as they should be. And toss in the fact that they didn't have Kevin Durant, the leader in multiple Olympic categories. He's someone who has the ability to transform Team USA into an entirely new beast. And as the Olympics have started to kick off, I think we've already seen the improvement. From the first 2 group play games, Kevin Durant has already shown the impact he can make, especially coming off the bench as the go-to option. And the teamwork between Team USA as a whole has just continued to get better. And it just so happened that Puerto Rico would meet the United States when their chemistry was at their highest. But their 3-point shooting didn't seem to follow the upwards trend. It actually continued to get worse. Against Serbia, Team USA shot 56% from 3. Against South Sudan, they shot 43%. And against Puerto Rico, they shot just 28%. But despite the 3-point shooting basically becoming non-existent, the United States still dominated with ease because not the whole team was struggling. A while back, Anthony Edwards stated that he was the number 1 option and Team USA has to fit around him.
I'm still the number 1 option. Yeah. I mean, y'all might look at it differently. I don't look at it no differently. Yeah, I just go out there and be myself, shoot my shots, play defense, and, they got to fit in and play around me. That's how I feel.
While that may have been a wild thing to say considering the talent on Team USA, against Puerto Rico, that statement actually looked to be true. In just 17 minutes of action, AntMan put up 26 points on 11 of 15 from the field and 3 for 6 from the 3-point line. Only one of 2 players to shoot above 40% from beyond the arc, the other being his basketball idol, Kevin Durant.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
But we all know that basketball is a team sport, so let's take it back to the beginning. From the start of the game, Puerto Rico came out firing from 3, knocking down shot after shot after shot. But the talented depth from Team USA was strong enough to weather the storm and keep the game close, with the bench unit closing out the first quarter down just 4 points. But the second quarter was when the game officially got out of hand. After entering the second quarter with a 4-point deficit, Team USA would go on to outscore Puerto Rico 16-39, a 23-point scoring differential and a 27-point swing in just 1 quarter. The teamwork along with the defense was improved heavily from the start of the game. Shots that Puerto Rico was once hitting were no longer falling, and the open shots for the United States were becoming too easy. Whether it was layups, dunks, or threes, everything was effortless. At the half, Puerto Rico would find themselves in a 19-point hole, basically the exact same halftime situation that South Sudan was put in, but a completely different situation that the 2004 Team USA was in. 20 years ago, the United States would put up just 27 points in the entire first half and dug themselves into a 22-point hole. But fortunately for the United States, it's 2024, and the leads have been reversed. However, as I can never say enough, a halftime lead only means anything if you continue to keep your foot on the gas. In the past exhibition games, we all know there's been some trouble in the second half for Team USA. For example, the game against Australia. But so far in the group play, the United States have learned their lesson, closing out every game they've played, and Puerto Rico was no exception. Team USA would go into the second half with full energy and they were not letting up. The few threes that the United States actually knocked down started to fall all at the same time. What was once a 19-point lead for Team USA ballooned up to nearly 30 points towards the end of the third quarter. And although Puerto Rico did outscore the United States in the fourth quarter, it did not matter as Team USA's dominant second and third quarters were too much to overcome. And once again, Steph Curry really hasn't found his rhythm shooting-wise. He actually got some pretty great looks this game, but just couldn't knock them down. It's just something that we're not conditioned to see from the greatest shooter of all time.
47 in the game. Curry off the handoff, step back three. Good! A 50 ball!
However, this is not to say that he's useless because he's not shooting well. He still has unmatched value simply based on his gravity alone. His off-ball activity still helps create opportunities for others, and his unselfish playstyle is beneficial for a team full of superstars. And after getting benched in the game against South Sudan, Joel Embiid took advantage of his size against Puerto Rico and actually had a decent game, and a way better game than any of his previous ones in my opinion. And the same thing goes for Jayson Tatum. He was benched against Serbia, but had in my opinion his best game with a solid 10-10 double-double. Even though the shots weren't falling like they normally do, I think this was the best game Team USA has played thus far, from strictly a basketball standpoint, not necessarily numbers-wise. But anyways guys, what do you think about Team USA after their third official Olympic game against Puerto Rico? Was this the best game they've played teamwork-wise? And how much more deadly does Team USA become if Steph Curry can get out of his shooting slump? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.